What's up, y'all? Today we got some true crime. I seen in the comments a couple of y'all said y'all want to see the video full screen. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna try something new. Let's get into it, man.
I go get the backup, dig the hole, said a prayer, put him in the hole.
I don't know why I did.
He's a psychopath. Save yourself, because he'll bury you, just like he did to those 4 boys.
Cosmo is a natural-born killer. He's just a bad seed.
It's crystal clear in my mind, and even as I think about it now, I get the chills. I remember it clear as day, just thinking we have a huge problem, that something terrible has happened.
Vanish. What the heck?
He would erupt into these outbursts. He had all the money in the world. Born with
Bro, like the Marshmallow Man. That's crazy.
the prime real estate. His father had a successful business.
He knew he would become notorious for it, and once he did that, I think he became the equivalent of a man-eater.
He kept talking about selling weed and
By the way, it's a part 2 to the video, and we can watch
gun,
that too.
like this mobster type of guy. And this is my cousin. Pulled the gun out. You know, I aimed it in the air, closed my eyes, and fired a shot.
No, he was dead, but I just to finish, I just shot him.
Big story on Action News tonight is attracting
Who told him to
enormous
use his
attention in the
picture?
tri-state area and across the country. Authorities in Bucks County say they will not rest until they find the 4 men.
This area is rural, farmland, big open fields.
Jeff Cherico is a former 6 ABC reporter. On Sunday, July 9th, Jeff gets a call from a source.
And he said, all right, because you know those missing kids from Bucks County? I said, yeah. He said, well, I think there's something about that going on right now. Right up here, here's the old house. Right in front of the garage was one police vehicle just parked there. And that's where I knew that, okay, this was where they were investigating the missing men. And I got to the police station and I said to the person at the desk, I'm Jeff with Channel 6, I said, can I talk with the chief? And just then the assistant DA walks out of the chief's office and comes up to us. And that's when I knew something was going on, because like, an assistant DA would not be at the Solebury Township Police Department on a Sunday afternoon unless something big was happening. I'd like to talk to you about what's the latest on the missing kids. And he said, well, how many do you know are missing? And I said, by that question, I said, well, I know that there are more than 2. And I didn't know that. But just the way he asked me that led me to believe that there was more than just 2. And then that's when he said, oh yeah, we have 4 missing men.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh my God.
Oh my God.
Our office is involved in a joint investigation with the Newtown Township, Plumstead Township, State Police, along with the Middletown Township Police, for several individuals that were reported missing. We have 4 people that have not been heard from since Friday. We're looking at all the different angles to hopefully bring them home safely.
We only knew a couple of the names of the missing men. We didn't even know all the names at this point. We just knew that there were 4. I guess what I was thinking is maybe they were all partying and they, passed out.
Take a slight left
Because
turn.
they're
kids.
Like that.
They're
'Cause
young kids.
Yeah, so
it was
like
holiday weekend.
I don't think that's what happened.
Breaking news tonight. This is Dean Finicaro, Jimmy Tar Patrick, Mark Sturgis, and Tom Mio. All 4 young men are from Bucks County, all seemingly disappeared without a trace a few days ago.
Channel 6 reports about the missing boys first.
Where are they? A house in Solebury Township, Bucks County may hold a clue. Sunday night, Walter is off. I'm Sarah Bloomquist, and the big story on Action News is breaking news. A possible break in the search for several missing young men from Bucks County.
Well, Sarah, police from multiple jurisdictions worked for hours trying to find these 4 missing people. They wrapped up their search about 45 minutes ago, and we now believe we know the identities of all 4 missing people.
You said the biggest investigation ever in Bucks County.
That I've been involved with, and I've been here 25 years or so. We didn't know that all roads were going to lead to the farm because each of the boys that knew DiNardo knew him in a different context, meaning the 5 of them didn't all hang together. DiNardo didn't hang with these 4 boys together.
Cosmo DiNardo is questioned by police. He admits to picking up Finicaro, but says he dropped him off and went fishing. John Kratz, DiNardo's cousin, is also questioned by police.
Marty.
Sean.
Pleasure.
I believe he's setting them up. It's like a
It's
setup.
going to be a collaborative investigation that will continue until we solve this missing persons incident. It became more and more apparent that this farm was going to be critical in our investigation. We had the cadaver dogs come to the farm, and they essentially identified 5 very specific locations. So we had teams that were on site at the farm, teams that were out running down leads, trying to backtrack and reconstruct these boys, what turned out to be their last moments alive, and simultaneously trying to build up information about Cosmo DiNardo, because that was the DiNardo farm.
Cosmo DiNardo is an heir to his family's concrete business. The 20-year-old lives in Bensalem. His family owns millions of dollars in real estate in Bucks County, including this farm in Solebury Township. The media is now camped outside the farm 24/7, along with the victims' loved ones.
Whole thing, we're just scared.
He was just so close to me as one of my best friends, and he was such a good person. Everyone deserved a Jimmy in their life, and now he's not. I'm sorry.
Just a massive in scope, and it's going to take all of our effort and all of your patience and the public's tips to help us solve this crime. We're using anything from major construction equipment all the way down to the finest sifting equipment that you can imagine.
Another day of digging for clues, but still no sign of 4 missing men.
And we were running out of the sites to dig that the dogs had hit on. I really started to break down because I said to her, I have to find these boys. I have to find them. And we weren't finding them. And I remember this just gorgeous. Now I picture it as a weeping willow. We all congregate under this tree to get some shade because it's so hot. And I just remember feeling like a little bit of comfort because we're in the shade of this beautiful tree, and I'm talking to these people, and Greg is with me, and some of the police are with me, and just trying to tell them what we know and what to expect and how to manage this. And then Sharon Patrick at the end, she says, "Do you mind if we all hold hands and pray?" And we did.
Bro, he deserved no bail, bro.
Start with our breaking news. Just after midnight came word of a major break in the case of 4 missing men from Bucks County. It is terribly sad news for the families who have been waiting and praying.
We have found human remains.
Remains of one of the young men have positively been identified, but the district attorney says that there are more remains in that common grave. So the investigation in Solebury Township will continue today. Meanwhile, here in Doylestown, we are hearing from sources that the parents of the person of interest have been subpoenaed to appear before a Bucks County grand jury this morning.
The gruesome and disturbing case involving drugs, murders, and burials by 2 cousins on a sprawling farm have left many here in shock and disbelief.
All 3 bodies are placed in a metal tank DiNardo called the pig roaster and set them on fire. The next day, the men returned to bury the tank 12 feet underground using the backhoe.
6, 7, 8, 9 feet down, we hit the oil tank.
12 feet
Then
underground.
Underneath that, 11, 12 feet down, we find 3 of the boys.
And a major development today, within the last hour, Cosmo DiNardo is back behind bars. There he is, this time on $5 million cash bail.
So we use that as the basis to charge
Said
DiNardo
no
with
bail,
stealing
bro.
Tommy's car because he had offered it for sale, and he had all the papers. And I'll tell you, we told the district judge and said, listen, this guy's a person of interest in a quadruple homicide, 4 missing boys. And yes, this is the theft of one of the boys' cars. We want to hold him. So we need extraordinary bail.
The last bail release, DiNardo's family was able to pay 10% of $1 million on a separate case. That option was taken off the table this time around. The judge setting that hefty $5 million cash bail. She says it is the highest bail that she has ever set.
We just started to increase the tension
no
and the pressure
bail,
on him. And it was then that we made this agreement with him. I think he saw the walls closing in. Your client has 1 card to play. He can bargain for his life.
20-year-old Cosmo DiNardo confessed to killing 4 young men and burying their bodies on his family's Solebury Township farm.
So when they turn their backs on me, I shoot Tom in the back, drop him. Mark's like, what the? He was such a big kid, I loaded the gun on him.
In DiNardo's confession, it comes out that Patrick was killed first when DiNardo met him at the farm to buy marijuana on July 5th. Next came Finicaro on July 7th, followed by friends Mayo and Sturgis. Sturgis and Mayo had been lured to the farm from Peddler's Village for a marijuana deal. Finicaro, Mayo, and Sturgis's bodies were found on July 11th, but Patrick's was still missing. The district attorney takes the death penalty off the table for DiNardo if he tells them where Patrick's remains were.
You guys are digging right here. Yep. There's 3 bodies there. Okay. The 4th one is right there.
I don't understand why the cops do this, bro. I don't understand, bro. Throw the book at him. Like, give him the full...
They act like they're getting ready to do a transaction. Cosmo pulls a gun off his hip, shoots this way, and then shoots this way, shooting both of the 2nd and 3rd victims.
Okay.
Dropping the one.
He closed his eyes and pulled the trigger. But he had an honest belief that Cosmo was testing him at the time because Dean couldn't see him. Dean was turned around. And he thought the gun was going to go click because he didn't think it was possibly have bullets in it. And he didn't know if Cosmo had another gun. That if he didn't shoot him, he would shoot him.
Save yourself. You can't bring them back, but you can give them justice.
Did you murder Jimmy Charpak?
Yes, I did. Yes, I murdered Mark Sturgis. I murdered Tom Mayo.
Part 2 gonna be dropping real soon. Probably like in the next, probably next 30 minutes. But if y'all like the video, like, share, comment, subscribe, all that. See y'all in like a couple minutes after I edit and upload the other video, which is part 2. And peace.